Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to my June update. Absolutely no doubt, this update's gonna make you lose your... Alrighty guys, I'll be back with you in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Aw, yeah! Yes! Welcome to my June update, my DVD and Blu-Ray slash VHS toy update, everything you can imagine in the horror world. Yes, as you probably noticed, I am hairless. Yes, it feels absolutely fucking bizarre to be like this right now. I don't know what else to say, man. My face is cold as hell. I feel weird. I can like turn my head quicker. I can breathe better. It's like, I don't know, it's strange. But with all that said, guys, we'll get right into this update here. I'm gonna start off with the Horrorcon 2015 stuff I picked up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, got to meet lots of really cool people. But yeah, before we get into the autographs and the stuff that I actually picked up, here's a quick little slideshow of the guests that I got to meet and stuff, so check it out. Hope you enjoyed the little slideshow. Got to meet, everybody that I met was so amazing. Absolutely so amazing. Quick little story. When I met Jeffrey Combs, I told him that he's actually my favorite actor of all time. And he was, he was very appreciative of that. And I said to him, I was like, man, I think my favorite performance by you is when you played Edgar Allan Poe in the Black Cat of the Masters of Horror series in season 2. And he says to me, he's like, oh, thank you. He's like, actually, that's my favorite performance of all time, too. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then he told me that it was actually the last time that he'd ever worked on film. So everything he's worked on since was actually digital. And I thought that was a really cool story. I just didn't know that. So, but very awesome guy. Of course, Calgary Horrorcon 2015 was the 30th anniversary of Reanimator. Reanimator being one of my favorite films of all time. I had no choice but to go. So me and my buddy Dylan packed up, flew over there, and we had to go meet everybody. So, but yeah, with that said, of course I got this edition of Reanimator signed just because it was like the biggest one. I didn't want to get the Blu-ray signed and stuff, but so I got to meet, of course, Stuart Gordon, Barbara Crampton, and Jeffrey Combs, and they were all fantastic. Like Barbara Crampton, I don't know if she ever ages, but she looks about in her late 30s, early 40s, and she's like 56. It's like truly amazing. But yeah, so here's the Reanimator DVD that I got signed with, of course, Jeffrey Combs, Stuart Gordon, and Barbara Crampton. If you guys can make those out, a couple of them are in black. Jeffrey Combs signed in green, but that was really cool to get those three on there. It was like $30 an autograph, so I had to kind of limit myself. I couldn't get the others in there just because it's so much cash, man. Of course, you saw on the slideshow I met Dee Wallace. Got her to sign the Scream Factory edition of The Howling. It's also in black, which I didn't even notice again because I'm too busy talking all the time. But that's really cool, man. She was fantastic, super nice, just willing to talk. So, of course, I met Tom Atkins again. Yeah, you mean, I was kind of bummed out that Adrienne Barbeau was supposed to be there, and I was going to get her to sign The Fog, along with Tom Atkins, who I've actually met before. But of course, Tommy signed it to Mood Z. He added an E on the end of Moods, and I thought that was kind of funny, actually. Not a big deal, but yeah, Tom, always just such a nice guy, man. But so that's The Fog signed up there. Of course, I got to finally meet Ryan Nicholson. Had some really, really great conversations with him a bunch of times at Horrorcon. You know, me and Vince D'Amato. It's like he's like a business partner with him kind of thing. And of course, Ryan Nicholson, we had some great conversations actually. And of course, I got him to sign Gutterballs right there. And you guys seen the picture in the slideshow. It was fantastic. I kind of screwed up. I should have grabbed the other edition, the one with the alternate soundtrack. I wasn't really thinking at the time. But I did also grab the Gorezone magazine too, so which I'll show eventually here. And then last up for the autographs, I got, of course, Heather Langenkamp's autograph. And I got her to sign a Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which is really, really cool there. Very, very nice person. Had a great conversation with her. We actually talked about how the Nightmare on Elm Street series seems to be getting neglected with a really nice release and stuff. Because I told her, I said, hey man, you know, the Blu-ray set that came out, I think is absolutely, like, ridiculous. Like, that, you know, that thin case of the movies doubled up and stuff. And she goes, oh, I totally agree. And she told me one time she actually met the guy that did the cover art for it, and he was all being like, oh yeah, I did the cover art. And she's like, oh, that's cool because it sucks. It was pretty funny. But yeah, she wants like another, you know, really nice Blu-ray box, kind of like the Halloween one, you know, like how they did for the original DVD set for the Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, individual and stuff. But she was awesome. Talked to her for a little bit. Awesome stuff. So, but yeah, I also picked up a couple little toys here. I had to grab this because, of course, Freddy's my favorite horror villain of all time. And I picked up the NECA, you know, bobblehead. This is just so awesome. I'm not really a toy collector, but I had to grab this because it's just so fucking awesome, man. Seeing these things in person, which I don't get to do very often around here, but man, these things have got some weight, man. Really, really fantastic stuff. So go up on my mantle there. And last up for the kind of gadgets and stuff, I picked up this, and this was actually a really good score because I later found out that this was actually going for about 80 bucks on Amazon. And I had no idea because I'm not like a collector of this type of stuff. And but I thought this was a really good score. It was 20 bucks, and that's the Friday the 13th 3D poster. Sorry about the glare. I know there's a Nightmare on Elm Street one, which I am going to hunt down, actually, to go right next to it. But yeah, these are really, really cool, and it's quality. It's like heavy as shit. Really, really, like, it surprised me how nice this was. So, but yeah, really cool stuff right there. And yeah, I'll grab that Gorezone. And yeah, like I said, here's the Gorezone magazine on the films of Ryan Nicholson. Actually, the writer of this article in the magazine was actually at the screening of Gutterballs 2, which I fortunately enough got to see with my buddy Dylan. And it was really cool. He signed this also in the corner. This is probably one of the coolest articles written about, you know, Ryan Nicholson. Really, really well done stuff. But yeah, of course we got to see Gutterballs 2, and that was really fucking awesome. That movie's batshit crazy. I can't wait for the final cut of the film. Hopefully he puts in a little more of the shit that he didn't put in this cut. It's going to have an alternate soundtrack. It is a little rough around the edges, but it's fucking batshit crazy, so be on the lookout for that. So, yeah. Alright, let's get into the DVDs. Alright, so this is everything I picked up from Horrorcon 2015. They didn't really have a lot of DVD and Blu-ray vendors and stuff, but we did make out pretty well. I grabbed some really cool stuff, like actually some stuff I've been looking for so I could scratch out of my my notebook. I don't have an actual notebook like, you know, Tom from Horseball does. I have a laptop notebook that I just erase shit. Yeah, I can't write. So, but anyways, yeah, this is everything I grabbed, and actually, like I said, I got some really cool out-of-print stuff that I've been looking for a long time, but I'll start with the Blu-rays here. First off, I got a film called Reversed, and this is directed by Vince D'Amato, personalized it to me on Blu-ray. It was really cool, man. We actually ended up buying all of Vince's films that were at the table and stuff, and you know, he's just such a fucking nice guy, man. We had really great conversations with him and stuff, and threw in some free stuff like shirts and, you know, some other swag and shit like that, because me and Dylan were his best customers. Apparently we bought everything. So, but yeah, this was really cool. And of course, Derek, I did grab you one. There's your personalized copy. So if you're watching that, that's coming out to you soon enough. Next up is a film called Computer Hearts. And this one right here is, oh man, I can't remember who is actually... It's directed by the guy that, he actually shot some of the footage in Gutterballs too. I can't remember his name right now, but this looks pretty damn cool. Computer Hearts, looks fantastic. Can't wait to check this out. This one was limited to 75 copies. I got number 50, and of course I was like going through the stack of them trying to grab the highest number like I always do. I'm so weird like that. Actually I didn't though. I think there was a 51 or something, but I grabbed 50. And last up here for the Joe D'Amato film, or Joe D'Amato, Vince D'Amato, is a film called The Renfield Syndrome. Now, he said this one right here is kind of interesting. It's like, it's got a lot of dialogue and shit like that, but he says pretty cool. If you have to watch it, it's still sealed, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. But yeah, that's for the Blu-rays. On to the DVDs from Horrorcon. Finally picked up a copy of this, Marcus Koch's, of Rot. This is his shot on video film from, I think it's from 1999. Could be 97, I'm not sure. 97 or 99. One of the 2 years. But it is a 90s shot on video film. Very, very gritty and fucking gory and shit. Basically about this girl that fucks some dead, obviously, corpses. And she gets infected with the rot. And anyway, she ends up having sex with her boyfriend. She infects him. And now they're like starting to rot and shit. Oh, it's a pretty fucked up film. But I really enjoyed this, man. Marcus Koch, you could tell, had a lot of potential, and still does, obviously, 100 Tears and so on and so on. He's a great special effects artist, but finally got a copy of Rot. Happy as hell to have that. Next up is one that I was so fucking happy to come across, because I've been looking for this forever. It's really, really hard to find. Like, I actually can't even find copies online of this very often. And when you do, the prices are usually like 70, 80 bucks or some stupid thing. And that is A Night to Dismember, a Christmas horror flick that I was actually missing from my collection. I have a lot, and this was one that was eluding me for years. It's a really old DVD, man. I think this thing came out in like 2001. It's really early pressing. It's been out of print forever. But I was really happy to find this, and I paid a little bit for it, but I'm fine with it because, you know, I didn't have to wait for it, no shipping costs, and you know, it was right there, so I would have regretted not picking that up. Next up is a Shriek Show release of Tenement. This is a kind of revenge film about these badasses that are terrorizing this building, or kind of slumming in this building and stuff. They get the cops called on, and they come back to seek revenge on all the tenants of the building in some pretty fucking nasty and you know, distasteful ways and stuff. But it's pretty fun. It's got that real gritty 80s look to it, man. Shot in 1985, I believe, or something. So it's got this really awesome, you know, 80s New York hip hop soundtrack to it, and it's just gritty looking, man. I enjoyed it. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but I enjoyed it. Next up is another Vince D'Amato film, and this one right here is called Human Nature. I've yet to watch this one. I'm going to be doing reviews of these films because I'm going to. But yeah, this one looks pretty damn cool. And this one right here, I actually just laughed at the title because he's like, you gotta check this out, it's pretty fun. Another Vince D'Amato film, and this is Vampires vs. Zombies. Yeah, apparently it's batshit crazy. So I'm expecting a lot from this one, actually. It just sounds pretty promising, but yeah. Next up is a original Anchor Bay title that I've been after for a long time, too. Never really hear a lot of people talk about this one. You know, it's just one that's kind of eluded me forever, and I've always wanted to check it out. This one's still brand new sealed, actually, and that is Business is Business. Now, I've been wanting to check this out forever. It just sounds batshit crazy and weird and shit, but, you know, I think I paid like 20 bucks for this, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It's cheaper than buying it online for me, so Business is Business. And I finally completed my Don Coscarelli collection with The Beastmaster, which is also out of print, and I think I paid $15 for this, which isn't bad, actually, because I think it usually goes for a little bit more. Yeah, so happy to finally have The Beastmaster. I haven't seen this movie in so long, but awesome find right there. Next up is a pair of films that I believe I've seen the first one. I'm not 100% sure, and I saw this there. It was super cheap, and I just really wanted to either revisit them or check them out for the first time. I can't fucking remember if I've seen the first one or not. And that's The Hidden and The Hidden 2. Of course, The Hidden has Kyle MacLachlan in it. I'm not sure if he's in the sequel. It doesn't appear so. But yeah, I've been looking forward to checking out these like sci-fi horror thrillers, kind of deal. But yeah, The Hidden. Another out-of-print one, and I was really stoked to find this title because I'm such a huge Synapse Films freak. And this is one I've been after for a while because I've always wanted to check this out. It's always been one that's been, I've been super curious about. And that is World of Horror, Dario Argento. It's like interviews and stuff. I believe this was directed by Michel Sauvier. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it is directed by Michel Sauvier. Of course, did Cemetery Man and The Church and stuff like that. So this is really interesting. It's got basically stuff about, his famous films like Deep Red and Inferno, Tenebrae, Phenomena, stuff like that. So I'm really curious to check this out, but Synapse, out of print, very cool. This one right here, super stoked to find too, because I actually ordered this a long time ago and got another film with the same title that was really shitty and stuff. And I'm such a big Boris Karloff fan, and that's Fear Chamber, released by Elite, brand new sealed, and this is only a couple bucks, so that was really an interesting find. Finally got another one to knock off my Intervision collection here, and this is one I've been after for a long time. I don't know why I haven't grabbed it, because I buy a lot of Jess Franco shit, and that's The Sinister Eyes of Dr. Orloff. I believe this is the only Dr. Orloff film I didn't have. So, but yeah, another one to knock off the Intervision collection. So that was really cool. And the last three I grabbed from Horrorcon, of course, here was a Maya Communications title called Arizona Cult. Arizona Cult Returns. This is a Sergio Martino spaghetti western, and I had to grab it because I love Sergio Martino, and this is one I've never seen, really never hear anyone talk about. And this is like an older one too. I believe it's from 1970. So yeah, gotta check that one right there. Another one here that I've fucking been after for a long time too. I'm not entirely sure who directed this, but always wanted to check it out. It's like a giallo film. It's Human Cobras right there. Again, sorry about the glare, but yeah, this one looks really damn cool right there. And last up for the pickups from Horrorcon, this is released by 1-7 Movies. Now I think this is like the company. I think My Communication went under and they became this company. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure. They kind of look very similar in the way they're all set up and stuff. And this one's called Sex, Demons, and Death. Don't know anything about this one, but I thought it looked pretty interesting. Read the premise, so grabbed this one right here. Satan's Mistress on Sex Prowl. Okay, you really can't go wrong with that. So, yeah, so that is the Horrorcon 2015 pickups. I believe that's everything anyway, so that wasn't actually a bad little haul, considering they didn't really have the most vendors there and stuff, so, but made the best of what we had. So anyways, let's get into the Blu-rays. Yeah. Yeah, getting into the Blu-rays before the DVDs, kind of mixing up the little, the program a little bit here. But yeah, the Blu-rays that I grabbed over the month, not actually, the biggest stack, but I think there still is about 19, of course. First up here, I finally got my copy from Vinegar Syndrome of Madman. Fuck, man, I pre-ordered this thing so long ago. Of course, it got delayed by Amazon.ca, and I finally ended up getting it like weeks after it was released. I did watch it though. The transfer is really good. It's never really been one of my favorite slashers, to be honest. It's still fun as hell. I thought the look looked fantastic. They managed to capture that blue little tinge to the film and stuff quite well. But yeah, I do highly recommend this, man. It's fun, man. It's a fun slasher. But I actually watched this when I was out camping. The weather was all shitty, and I was in my motorhome and stuff, and I was pissing out rain. It was like perfect opportunity to watch this. Yeah, camping slash, can't go wrong. Madman. Next up here from Synapse Films is, holy fuck, man, from the director that did Gunwoman. Can't really say his name too well, and this one's called Samurai Avenger, The Blind Wolf. Holy fucking shit, man, this movie right here. It is goofy as all sin, but fun as all hell, man. Like, I was laughing my ass off in this part. There's one part in this film, I had to pause the movie. I was pissing myself. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's really, really fun. It's basically just a revenge film about this dude that ends up killing this guy's family. He blinds him. Well, he doesn't actually blind him. The guy ends up blinding himself. But anyways, he's the blind wolf and seeks revenge. And it's just fucking goofy as hell. But yeah, awesome, awesome flick, man. I couldn't recommend that one enough. And next up from Synapse here is The Image. Now, I've been after this one forever. This was one of 2 Synapse Blu-rays I did not own. Now I have them all because I have the next one here. I'm so happy to finally own all these, but this one right here is like a really interesting one. It's not really my cup of tea too much, but I haven't seen it yet, so it might be. But it's like I think it has to do with like sadomasochism and stuff like that, and you know, it's basically just kind of like a softcore type film. But yeah, The Image, really looking forward to checking that out actually. And last up for the Synapse Films Blu-rays is, you know, one I remember seeing years and years ago. Couldn't remember a thing from it, and that is Red Scorpion. Dolph Lundgren. This movie's fucking awesome, man. Directed by Joseph Zito, of course, that, you know, did Maniac and stuff. Or not Maniac, I mean The Prowler. And, why did I say Maniac? And, you know, Friday the 13th Part 4. But he did this action film, and it's really crazy, actually. And the effects are done by Tom Savini. Yeah, really, really fun stuff, man. Dolph Lundgren's fucking badass in this film. Good high-octane action. Lots of blood. Good shit. Next up here from Redemption, as everyone knows, I collect all these, and this is, I think there's another one coming out. Maybe it's already been released. I know it hasn't been released in Canada, but number 47. This is number 46, and it's another Jess Franco film called The Sadistic Baron von Claus. Have not yet watched this one. I am really curious to check this one out, though. It looks pretty interesting. I think it's one of his, like, older films. Yeah, 1962, so this is, like, really early Franco. Kind of when he made different type of films, you know, he got really kind of super low budget in his later stuff, but yeah, this one looks interesting. So that of course completes the Redemption line. Next up here is moving along to the Scream Factory titles, and I just got this in the mail last night. I popped it in. I only watched like the first 10 minutes. I was fucking around on my computer, and it's a double feature: Ghost House and Witchery. I have the Shriek Show DVD of Witchery, but you know, this is pretty cool. To finally get Ghost House, finally get a Region 1 release of it. Yeah, I popped it in and started watching. I was like, holy shit. I've never actually seen Ghost House before, believe it or not. But yeah, it looked pretty damn awesome. You know, you can't go wrong with Italian stuff, but cool double feature, man. Next up here is another double feature from Scream Factory of Tentacles and Reptilicus. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, these are fun movies, man. They're really, really fun. Like, I love Tentacles, man. You know, giant octopus, can't go wrong. Reptilicus. This is, like, fucking old, too, man. It's, like, from the early 60s. I hadn't seen it in, like, forever. Like, I actually at one point thought I had never seen it. And, no, I apparently have seen it. So, yeah, fun flicks, man. Really good stuff. Next up here is just another upgrade, and that's, you know, 1988 Scarecrows. I think they did a great job with the look of this, because this movie's shot really, really dark, and I was kind of worried on what the transfer was going to look like. But they did a pretty good job. You know, it's not like, you know, an A+ transfer, but it's really good. It does bring out, there's a, you know, it kind of brings out the look of it. It's not as dark as you would expect it to be, but awesome flick, man. I love the Scarecrow flick, man. Good shit. Did a good job with that. Next up here from Scream Factory is Sleepaway Camp 2. What can I say about the sequels, man? They're fun as hell, man. You know, I used to really enjoy Sleepaway Camp 2 more than Part 3, but I think I like Part 3 more because it's even more cheesy. This film has the most ridiculous body count in it, though. I think there's like 22 or 24 kills in this. It's just outrageous, man. It's a lot of fun, man. I love the Sleepaway Camp sequels. I love the original cover arts in these too, man. They're just fantastic. Really good stuff, so. But yeah, Scream Factory, of course. Yeah, good stuff. And Sleepaway Camp 3, which I do prefer the new commissioned artwork on Part 3 a lot more than Part 2. I think a lot of people have been saying that. But yeah, you know, the original cover art too, man. Oh, I always love this. The tagline doesn't really make a lot of sense in this one. She's back to slash last year's record. Well, she doesn't really do that at all. The body count's not even half as high in this one. Well, maybe it is, but I don't know. Fun flicks, though. Next up here from Draft House Films. This movie, holy shit, man. This was recommended to me by Zach. by Zach. And of course, this one right here, I didn't really know a lot of. I only knew that it was an Australian film that was like lost forever and shit like that, directed by the guy that did Rambo. And it's called Wake and Fright. This is the alternate cover art called Outback. So if you're looking for this online, which I highly, highly, highly recommend this film. Zach gave it a 10 out of 10. I give it a 9.5. This one is a fucking nightmare, man. Like, that's what you're looking for. I highly recommend you go out and get this film. It's really good. Basically just about this school teacher that's on his way to Sydney for, the Christmas, or the Christmas. Well, it actually does kind of take place at Christmas time. But in the summertime, he leaves his like little area. He's the school teacher in like this little fucking town. He leaves to go to Sydney, ends up in this other small town, and it's just, he kind of gets stuck there. And that's all I'll say about the film. It's really fucked up. Donald Pleasance has an amazing role in this film. He's just crazy, batshit crazy. But the whole film is fucked up, man. It's a really amazing flick. Gotta see it. One of the best Australian films I've ever seen. So, yeah, Wake and Fright. Good stuff. Grab this for a steal of a deal, man. Amazon.ca usually has this going for like $44. I'm just like, yeah, right. I'm never gonna fucking pay $44 for that. Randomly one day it just came up, recommended for you, $18. I was like, holy shit, I'm totally grabbing that. It had dropped down from 44 to 18, and that's the 4-disc Blu-ray set of Battle Royale. Now I only had like the bare bones DVD of it, so I was really, really stoked to grab that. Of course, it has part 1, part 2, DVD, and the features and stuff. But yeah, this is pretty fucking good deal for $18, I have to say, man. That was kind of a score, so couldn't pass that up. Next up here from Anchor Bay, which I will have a review of this movie coming. I've heard nothing but good things, so I'm super stoked to check it out. And it was one I wasn't really too sure about at first, and that's Spring. So, like I said, I've heard a lot of good things. I think this movie might have been released by Draft House in the US, but in Canada it's released by Anchor Bay, of course. So, that's Spring. Heard it's really awesome. And the last 3 here are Arrow pickups, and this one's actually Arrow US. And I had to grab this because I'm such a huge Jack Hill fan. I love his films. Like, I actually have a couple other Jack Hill films in this update. And this one did not disappoint me. I'd never seen the film before. Shot in black and white, and it's fantastic. And it's called Pit Stop. Basically about this guy that gets involved in doing these figure 8 races. And it's just batshit crazy, man. The cars and all the real stunts and just weirdness in this film, man. It's fucking awesome. Honestly, one of Jack Hill's best films, to be honest. But, what can I say? I couldn't recommend this enough. It's really fantastic. Of course, DVD, Blu-ray, I'm sure everybody has shown this off. And, if you want to flip the cover, that's pretty cool right there, too. So, but yeah, I highly recommend Pit Stop. Of course, this is Region A. So, it's actually Region AB. So, it's one of their dual releases. But, yeah, so Pit Stop. And then, of course, I had to upgrade this. I have the German Blu-ray of this, which I'm actually going to give to my buddy Dylan, because this is kind of like an upgrade. Kind of an upgrade. This thing is just ridiculous that a film like this would actually get a fucking release like this. And that's Society, and everyone's seen this. I'm not going to open up, but I love this embossed, cover. It's just really, really fantastic. Just such an amazing release for a film like this. Like, Society's a great film, but, to get something this extreme is just, it really blows my mind. But Society, good stuff. And of course, last up, if you guys watched an unboxing video I did from Mr. Snickers21, aka Bill, you've already seen this, but I'm so proud that he actually sent me this, and I'm going to get you back, Bill, because this is just, means the world to me. My favorite film of all time, and this is an edition I've been after for so long. Never expected to go out of print as quick as it did, and that's the Arrow Slipbox edition of Dawn of the Dead. So, another Dawn of the Dead edition to add to my collection, which I just cannot have enough. But I've been after this one forever because it's just so damn beautiful. Everyone's seen this, but yeah, I don't have a lot of these slipbox editions, maybe 7 or 8 or something. But this is, the pride and joy right now. So, but yeah, that is going to do it for the Blu-ray releases. Yeah, what can I say? Really decent haul this month. I didn't pick up a lot of Blu-rays. But what I picked up was pretty freaking quality in my opinion, but yeah. So, there's the haul for the Blu-rays, and alright, moving along to the VHS. Yeah. VHS time. And, you know, actually most of these VHSs I actually did pick up at Horrorcon. But I just wanted to throw them in like a whole section of VHSs because I grabbed a couple other ones, but I actually did score some really good ones. I generally only buy VHS films that have never been released on DVD or Blu-ray. For the most part, or I'll buy some that are really hard to find on DVD or like long out of print and they're cheap on VHS. But I did grab a couple that are readily available, but I had to have them because they were sitting there and I was like, I'm not passing that up. That's just fantastic. And I'll tell you the reasons why in a second here, but yeah. I don't know. First up here is one that I know that doesn't have a DVD release, released by Prism, and that is called Evil Spirits. Now you can see Michael Berryman on there. Fucking fantastic find, man, for a couple bucks. Film I have never actually seen before. I remember seeing this cover art around, but I don't think I've ever seen it before. And it's always awesome to find a film that's never been released on VHS, and like the tapes are just in phenomenal shape. This one also has Karen Black in it, apparently, so that's really cool. Evil Spirits, that was such a bonus to find. This one right here, I've known about forever. I think this might have some type of release, but I'm not 100% sure on it. I didn't really look into it, but released by Paragon, and it's called the Northville Cemetery Massacre. Yeah, that is awesome right there. Now, I think this one may have like a burn-on-demand release. I'm not sure if this is the one I'm thinking of, but regardless, you know, a couple bucks for this, man, I'm not really going to pass this up. It's just, it's too good, man. You know, the tape is in really good shape. Awesome stuff right there. Looking forward to checking that out. Now, here's a film I've never even heard of. And now at first, I thought it, but then I read it and it said The something. I thought it was a different film, but it's totally not the film I was thinking of, and I have no idea what the hell this is. This is released by, of course, Interglobal Home Video, and it's called The Creepers. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was Creepers, you know, obviously the original name for Phenomena, or the alternate name, I can't, whatever. But yeah, this one has really cool cover art, man. I was like, damn, I gotta check this out, man. Never heard of this, and I don't think it has a DVD release or a Blu-ray release, so... But yeah, that's really cool. Cool find. Now this I was fucking stoked to find because this movie actually completes my Tobe Hooper collection. Doesn't have a DVD or Blu-ray release for God knows what reasons. You know, just being a Tobe Hooper film, you'd think it would actually have a release. But it doesn't, and this is a film called Night Terrors with Robert Englund. Very, very cool find right there. Tobe Hooper, yeah, you can't go wrong, man. Like, so cool, man. Awesome stuff. Again, tape in like really, really great shape. Like, fuck, awesome scores. So, looking forward to checking that out. Now, this one, I remember seeing the cover art for this. Oh, man. And I never, ever checked it out, though. I've never seen it around, but I never checked it out. And this cover art's just, like, fantastic. And that's Death Warmed Up. Look at that shit right there. You can't pass that up. You can never leave something like that on the shelf. It doesn't have a DVD or Blu-ray release, at least in Region 1. I think this is actually an Australian film, to be honest. I think so. I did watch it, actually. I think it is Australian, but yeah, actually the VHS looks really good. It was pretty pristine, so this one right here is released by Wham! USA. Wham! USA. What the fuck label was that? That's crazy. But awesome cover art. It wasn't a bad film. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Next up here is the Anchor Bay, you know, kind of hard shell release of The Night Strangler right there. I believe this does have a DVD release. Maybe it's like a double feature with the other one. But yeah, this is actually a really good film. I enjoy this, man. So, but yeah, you can't go wrong with that right there. Anchor Bay. Good stuff. And I grabbed this one because I know the DVD goes for ridiculous money for some weird reason. I think it does anyways. And it's another Anchor Bay with, you know, these hard clam shells. Or shells or whatever. And that's The Plague of the Zombies. Yeah, been looking for this actually for a long time. Part of their Hammer collection. Really good stuff right there. Another Anchor Bay, which is really cool. It was super cheap, so can't go wrong. And yeah, next up here is a release by Prism again, and this is actually a huge clamshell. Got this one for super cheap, and I believe this movie's might actually be public domain. I'm not 100% sure, so it might have like some really shitty DVD releases, but it doesn't have anything special. And that is called Dominique is Dead, right there. Dominique is Dead. So yeah, this is kind of interesting to find up here because you don't really find a lot of these clamshells, prism releases up in Canada. So, but yeah, you know how it goes. Actually, not in bad shape, not in the best, but it's actually in pretty good shape considering. So, but yeah. And the next few here, I believe, all have DVD releases. But the first one right here is one that goes for stupid money. It's released by Anchor Bay on DVD, and it's just, for some reason, it's like impossible to find for a good price, unless you're out in the wild or something like that. And that is The Guardian. Now, this is one that really needs a good, Blu-ray release or something. I've always been a big fan of this film. I haven't checked out this VHS yet, but it just looks pristine. So, but yeah, The Guardian, great stuff. Can't pass it up for a few bucks. Why not, right? Great stuff. And next up here, I grabbed this just because my DVD actually has like the shitty cover art on it. This is basically just going to be a piece. I will watch the VHS once. But I grabbed this because the cover art is fantastic. I love this cover art. I would actually love to get this poster, actually. And that is Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah, I've got the one with all the, just the shitty cover art. I hate it. So, it's $5 for this, whatever, I'll grab it. But yeah, I love that cover art. And I grabbed it. This is the one I was talking about. I couldn't leave on the shelf, man, because I love this film. I have this on, like a double feature, I believe, and like maybe that 6-pack too or something like that by Lionsgate. But this is the VHS release of it, released by Vestron. Actually released this one, and that's Parents. So I couldn't pass it up, man. I think this movie is just, it's so ridiculous, man. Like Randy Quaid is so fucking funny in this film, man. It just cracks me up, man. But everyone knows this movie. But yeah, I couldn't pass up Parents. Why not? And the last two I actually didn't grab from Horrorcon. I grabbed these at my buddy's shop. And I thought this was really cool. I'd actually never seen this release of Night of the Living Dead. It's probably super available and like easy to find and stuff. Released by Republic Pictures. And that's just a copy of Night of the Living Dead. I haven't owned a VHS Night of the Living Dead in so long, so I thought I'd grab this one. But this was like literally brand new. Like, it doesn't even look like this tape's ever been played, which is so strange. But I thought the cover art was kind of cool on it, so. But yeah, grab that right there. Definitely gonna watch it on VHS. And the last one I grabbed is a film that I really enjoy. I know this one has DVD and Blu-ray releases and stuff. I really think it was released actually by Severin on Blu-ray. And that is Horror Express. I just grabbed it because it was sitting there, like, $1 or $2 or whatever, so. But Horror Express, I love this film. It's fantastic. Can't go wrong. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. Yeah, great stuff right there. So that is the little amounts of VHS. Actually, that's probably one of the biggest VHS hauls I've ever had. Considering I don't generally collect VHS, that's not a bad haul right there. Considering I'm so amazed I found as much stuff as I did that wasn't even released on DVD and Blu-ray. So, but yeah, awesome stuff. All right, moving along to the DVDs. Yeah. Yeah, moving along to the DVDs, the part we've all been waiting for. So I did this like completely backwards, but that's the way I roll these days. Yeah, this is everything I grabbed in the month. Most of these I actually ordered from Hamilton Books in the US. The thing is, they don't ship to Canada, so I got everything shipped to Jeremy's house, and of course he shipped it up to me. I didn't do an unboxing for it because I actually got it right before I was going camping. I was gone for 3 days, and I decided to open it up and put them all together because Jeremy ships them up to me without the cases, even though these were all pretty much, well, they all were brand new. So it took me a while to like put everything back together and stuff, but anyways, thank you, Jeremy, for doing that for me. Again, I really appreciate that. And yeah, I couldn't pass, like, all these were like $2-3, kind of thing. It's just ridiculous. Even with the conversion rate in Canada, still cheaper than hell to buy these. First up here, I grabbed from Severin. This is one I've been after for a while, actually, and that's Crucible of Terror. I completely had forgot that I grabbed one of these copies here. I actually grabbed this from Horrorcon, but I'd actually ordered one from Hamilton Books, and of course, that doesn't happen very often, but I completely forgot I put this on the list to order, so I actually have 2 copies of this, so I will be giving one of these away to somebody soon. So, anyways, yeah, I'll give the sealed one away. I'll keep the one that I put together. But yeah, Crucible of Terror, been after that one for a long time, from Severin. Next up on the DVDs from Dark Sky Films, get into a few Spanish films. Anyways, I gotta beef up my Spanish collection, man. And this one's called Shiver. Now, I've heard really good things about this one. I know that Tom, Horsball said this really great things about this film. And usually when he says the film is good, it's probably fucking good. So, but yeah, and it was just perfect because I'm like, I got to beef up my Spanish collection. This looks pretty damn promising. So, yeah, Shiver. And then the next three here are Panic House releases. And I love this line, man. The Casanegra Presents line. The legendary Mexican cinema. The Man and the Monster. This one is really, really old, actually. I think this one's from 1958. So that's really cool to see some old school Spanish films. Pretty damn cool. Next up is one I just love the cover art on it, man. I can't wait to check this out. And it is also really old, from 1958, and The Living Coffin, it is called. Yeah, so really cool stuff. Yeah, these actually come with the alternate cover arts that are in Spanish, too, which is really damn cool, so... In case you speak Spanish, yes, you can have the Spanish cover. Yeah, that one looks awesome. And then last up for the Spanish films is a film called The Witch's Mirror. I believe this one's from the 60s. Yeah, 1960. So these are some really old school Spanish films that I can't wait to dig in, man. Like, I'm ecstatic about these. So, really cool stuff there. Next up is a couple films that Jack Hill actually, I believe that he worked on. I know these were, actually no, these are, I don't know where these were actually originated from, but I know that he shot like the American scenes in these films. And the first one with Boris Karloff is Isle of the Snake People. Yeah, Jack Hill shot the American scenes in this one. I don't really know what that means, but after this one for a while, another Boris Karloff I did not have. And this one right here, I wish I had seen before my 1968 show on the podcast, but never got around to it, but I grabbed a copy now, and that's called House of Evil. Again, Jack Hill shot the American scenes in this film, so kind of gets, well, he's credited but not credited, kind of. Another Boris Karloff that I've heard is actually really good, so yeah, you need to check that out. And moving along to some Synapse Films releases that I grabbed. I did show, I think, a couple in the other stack there. First up, this was another one that was recommended to me by Zach. Movie Guys 666. This movie, holy shit, man, so freaking bizarre but fun, and it's called Animalanda, which translate into animal. This is a Spanish film also. I think it's from Argentina, I believe this film is from. Yeah, well, you can pretty much figure out what this one's about. It's about a man, a sheep. Yeah, it's complicated. About a guy that's not having a good relationship with his wife, finds a relationship with this sheep, and then bad things start happening. See what I did there? Yeah. I actually saw that on IMDb, and I thought it was kind of clever. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. People start dying, and it's just a fucked up film, man. It's really, really entertaining, though. The soundtrack in this movie is absolutely funny as hell, too. Good stuff. One, finally got to knock this off my snaps list, and that's Cyclone. I'm getting close, man, to all the ones that I really needed to get, so Cyclone, obviously shark film, but yeah, this is a fun flick, man. I really enjoy this, man. I don't know, it's just cheesy fun, but Cyclone. Next up was one I've never actually heard of, but I saw it on there. It was released by Synapse, and this is actually a newer release. I believe it's from 1999, and it's called Cold Hearts. Yeah, I don't really know much about this one, so I'm going to have to check this out. But Synapse doesn't really release a lot of shit, so that's interesting. Another film that I actually thought, when I was ordering this, I'd never even heard of this film, and I thought it was older because they did a great job with this throwback cover, and I believe it's shot in black and white. It's from also 1999, and it's called Night Train. It's like a total throwback film, apparently, in this dark and dangerous film noir meets German expressionism. So that sounds really fucking cool. Really cool. So this is going to be high on my list to check out. So Night Train. And not last up for the Snaps releases. I got one more. Finally grabbed a copy of Brutes and Savages. Yeah, and one that's been on my list to grab forever. Yeah, this one is like one of those shockumentaries. Animal sacrifice, forbidden rituals, shocking footage captured with hidden cameras. Yeah, I think this was on the Section 3 list, or maybe it was the Section 2. I can't even remember the video announced. I think it's I don't even remember. Maybe Section 2. Brutes and Savages, yeah. Heard it's really, really fucking bad. Finished up with the Synapse releases and starting into the Asian stuff. See how I kind of organize this? I really can't pronounce this shit. It's called Gorezone. I don't know. Okay, so I'm sure somebody will correct me because my pronunciation on these Asian flicks is just not cool at all. But yeah, this is one I've been after forever, and I'm getting close to getting all these Asian cult cinema collection ones. So, but yeah, this one looks badass. Moving along with the Asian stuff, and now I got a funny story about this one. Now I ordered this from Movie Mars I don't know what the fuck they are. Anyways, I've had problems with them in the past, and anyways, this thing had been in the mail for about 6 or 7 weeks, and you know, it was like 3 or 4 weeks past the delivery date, and I was like, I emailed them, I said, hey guys, like, this thing is not showing up, like, you know, everything I ordered on that same day came like fucking 5 weeks prior. Anyways, they finally got back to me like a week later, and instead of sending me out another copy, they just refunded my money, which was fine. The day that they refunded my money, this pops up in the mail, of course, right? And that's the Ebola syndrome. But yeah, it took like 7 weeks to come or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck's up with that, man? It's ridiculous. But yeah, haven't watched it yet. Heard crazy things about this. I've just heard it's nothing but batshit crazy. I can't wait to check it out. Of course, Anthony Wong's in this film. He's just an amazing actor. Yeah, great stuff. Moving along with the Asian stuff. Now, if you follow me on the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast page, man, I've been picking up so much Asian stuff. I picked up like 21 titles this month, like another 9 or 10 here. And this is another Panic House release, which is like a sub-label of Synapse Films. And this one's called Bangkok Haunted. Yeah, look at that fucking slipcover right there. Really cool stuff. Yeah, gotta love it. It's awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna do some major Asian watching pretty quick here. So, no, I thought this was really cool. One I've actually been after for a long time. Also released by Panic House, and it's called The Uninvited. Now, this thing's got a really cool slipcover to it. Isn't that right there? Oh, the fucking glare. So it's got one of those type deals. Yeah, awesome slipcover. Looks fantastic. Yeah, can't wait to check it out. Been on my list for a long time. And all the rest of these ones are Asian Extreme, Tartan Asian Extreme ones, which, man, I've been really knocking these out the park lately. And this one's called The Booth. Couldn't pass it up. I think I heard pretty decent things about this. Not really too sure. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't really watched like any of these films because I haven't been home a whole lot. So, Unborn But Forgotten, another Asian Extreme film. So that one looks kind of cool. This one right here, really cool stuff. I don't know. It's got like the most generic title ever, but I was like, whatever. The Grudge Meets Darkwater. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. And that's called The Ghost. Of course, it'd be an Asian film called The Ghost, right? But yeah, looks pretty cool. If you guys have seen any of these films, leave comments down below. Let me know if they're any good or not. This one also has an alternate name called Mouse Slit Woman or something. Fuck, I can't even remember. And that is called Carved. But this is the the Asian Extreme release, so it's called Carved. Mouse Slit Woman. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, man. Somebody correct me. Fuck. But yeah, this one looks fucking awesome. And last up for the Asian stuff is a film called Dorm. Right there. Cool stuff. And this one, yeah, another Asian Extreme. Loving that label, man. Hopefully the films are good. Next up here is one I had sent to Jeremy's house a long time ago, and it's from Artsploitation. Finally got a copy of it, and that's Toad Road. Heard really mixed things about this, but I'm curious to check it out because, you know, Artsploitation, a lot of their films are very artsy, so I heard it's pretty fucking weird, kind of slow and different, but Toad Road, looking forward to checking that out. Here's one I did watch, and I didn't even know that Ryan Nicholson wrote this film until I was done watching the film and I was watching the credits, and it said written by Ryan Nicholson. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, now that all makes sense, right? And it's called Evil Feed. Now this one's basically about guys that, you know, fight in these cages in this restaurant, and when they die, they get chopped up, they get fed to the customers. Yeah, it's got a lot of that shit going on. So if you like high octane, you know, action, like type kung fu fighting, lots of blood and gore, cannibalism, hot chicks, just an all-out fucking wicked film. Great soundtrack. I highly recommend this, man. The premise sounds ridiculous, but this is fun as fucking hell, man. I had a lot of good times with this. All shot in Vancouver, which is pretty awesome. But check out Evil Feed, man. It's really fantastic. I mean, if you like Ryan Nicholson films, you probably and should like this film. So, Evil Feed. Another one I did check out, and that's weird. Finally got around to getting this. For some reason, this movie isn't available in Canada. I don't know what the fuck, so I had to import this. Jeremy picked it up for me. And yeah, really interesting take on werewolfism. I enjoyed this, man. It's more of like a police investigation mixed in with werewolf stuff, but it's really fucking cool, man. Really well done. Never seen it. Give it a shot. I gotta say, man, there's a lot of werewolf films that are coming out, you know, in the last couple of years that have been really good. You know, that subgenre is making a big comeback. So, got another Olaf Inbach film, and I've heard pretty good things about this one. Of course, his films are just known for being gore fest and just ridiculous. And that's Premutos, Lord of the Living Dead. Now, I know my boy Dubby reviewed this on Body Bags a long time ago, which got me pretty excited for it, but I just need to start picking up more Olaf Ittenbach films, man. They're just really hard to find in Canada. Oddly enough, I actually found this from an eBay seller that was selling it in Canada, so that was kind of trippy, but yeah, Olaf Ittenbach, I need to beef up that collection. Next up here is one from Sub Rosa Cinema. I've really heard the greatest things about it, but it was super cheap, man. It was like $5, and that's Massage Parlor of Death. And I believe that's exactly what it is. It's you know, a massage parlor, and this chick starts killing people in massage parlors. So, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll give it a shot. Next up here is we were actually going to do the entire franchise on the podcast. Unfortunately, I'm the one that fucked it up. Forgot that I had plans, and I was actually leaving a day earlier than I was for out of town. So we never got around to doing this, but I had to pick this up anyways to complete the franchise. And that's the Children of the Corn TV remake. This movie's fucking terrible. But, of course, the completist in me needs to own it, and that's completely ridiculous and stupid to some people, but, yeah, that's the horror in me, right? But, yeah, Children of the Corn TV film. Now, here's another film that was recommended to me by my boy Zach, and this is a film directed by James Wan. It's not a horror film. I think it's more of like an... kind of like an action type revenge thriller, and it's called Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. Apparently this movie's just fucking badass. I think he did this the same year he did Dead Silence. I think it was about the same time, so it was like a second or third film. But it seems like no one ever talks about this. I kind of heard about it. I never really gave it a fair chance, but I've heard good things, so I'm going to check this out. Death Sentence. Another one from Sub Rosa Cinema, and that is Jacko Slasher, and I actually did watch this. I think the premise of this film is actually pretty damn cool. It's super low budget. You know what you're going to get when you're watching Sub Rosa stuff. But I actually kind of enjoyed this, man. It's directed actually by a female, which surprised me, just based on the content and stuff. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It's about a pumpkin that, you know, basically has a head full of rotten pumpkin seeds and starts killing off people. It was enjoyable. I watched it late night one night, and it was pretty fun. Pretty fun. And the last two, of course, you guys have seen already if you watch my unboxing video. Bill sent me shameless release of Fulci's The Black Cat, which is cool. I always like to have shameless releases in the collection. Really cool cover art. I love that shit. Of course, these ones do come with... Oh, yeah. Shit, these are yellow cases. I don't want to pull it out. But, yeah, The Black Cat. Cool stuff. And last up for the DVDs is the other one that he sent me, and it's called Curse of the Queer Wolf. Now, I believe the premise in this film is basically about a gay werewolf that when he bites people, they turn gay. The premise in this film is just, I mean, it's completely a comedy and stuff, but it's just very interesting, man, that someone would make a film like this. It's pretty interesting. I actually can't wait to see this. I know Bill wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I'll give it a fair shot. So, but yeah, Curse of the Queer Wolf. And yeah, that is going to do it for the June DVD Blu-ray / VHS update. Hope you enjoyed everything. I know this video is going to take me a fucking day to fucking edit. And yeah, to everyone out there, happy Canada Day. It is Canada Day. Hopefully it's up on Canada Day, but if you're still watching with me, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be because I've stopped it after every segment. So anyways, guys, I will talk to you next month with my next haul, and stay tuned for that one, because I've got a shitload of Arrow Blu-rays coming in and a lot of other really cool stuff too. So stay tuned for that shit, and I'll check you then. Peace out. Yeah. That is truly incredible how much hair that is. Look at that. That actually just came off my face. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.